let's have a moment on water. Without water, there is no life. So that's probably the most important element for our lives. There are all kinds of waters around. Some people drink tap water. Now, it's been shown that people who live in a 100-mile radius around a nuclear power plant, do you know where the nearest one is where you live? Anybody knows? Where? Where?
I live in New York.
How far is it from you?
45-minute drive.
So that's less than 100 miles. Okay. Anybody in Florida? Floridians, where is the nuclear thing?
There's one right here in West Palm, isn't there?
Turkey Point, and what is another one nearby? Crystal River, yes. And where is another one? Port St. Lucie, just a little bit north. So, scientists showed, or have shown, that people who live in a 100-mile radius around a nuclear power plant are consuming radioactive strontium-90 in their water. The way this was shown is that there was a project, it was called the Tooth Fairy Project. They took the residual teeth of kids, and Tooth Fairy took it, but mommies put them in a little bag and sent it to the laboratory, and that was tested for radiation, and they found that these little kids already have strontium in their teeth. But the fact is, the consequence of this is childhood cancers, soft tissue cancers, breast cancer, prostate cancer, cancer in these areas are several times above the national average where there are no nuclear reactors. And then you mentioned Crystal River. Okay. Well, guess where this water company is the biggest one. What is it called? Which one? Zephyr Hill. Okay, guess where they are. Okay, they're 50 miles from the Crystal River reactors. I asked them for some report or some tests, some studies that do they have any radioactivity in there. Well, I didn't get anywhere except they sent me something like I think it was a 6-page or so much list of all the things that's in their water, but there was no radioactivity. They didn't test it. So I called their supervisor, bigger supervisor. I never got an answer. Yes.
Does ionized water take any of that out?
I don't exactly know what it is, but the answer is no. Sorry about that. No. I suppose you're breaking up water to hydrogen and hydroxyl. Those are two one is positive, other one is negatively charged. And, that doesn't last very long. I mean, that's called electrolysis, when you put the thing in an electric current. So, there is, if you drink tap water, it's death. That's what it means. And I'm sure most of you already recognize it and doing something about it. The best defense is reverse osmosis. The second best defense is distillation, distilled water. Reverse osmosis usually renders about twice the purity of twice distilled water. Now people say, okay, so all the minerals are removed, it's not there. Well, that's very true. I don't want anything in there. I just want H2O. That's the formula for water. I don't want anything in there. I do take mineral supplements. And some people go out to the cobalt blue Gulf Stream and collect some water there and put it into their pure water, some of it in their pure water, put some of the natural minerals back in there. But I haven't been out there for a long time, but I do take enough minerals to substitute. But water is water, that's what it is. Now, people have all these expensive waters. I don't know, you may have some feelings about that. Do you want me to bust your bubble or not? He says, go for it. Who wants to go for it? Okay. Well, I don't know what's the name of it, but there is a miraculous apparatus from Japan. Is that what you're talking about? Okay. This machine is, I think it's a few grand, a few $1,000. Okay. And of course you buy it because your health is worth more than anything else, and your families and all that. I have a person, acquaintance, I don't want to say patient, a friend. She bought the thing. And so she told me that this thing will give her pH gradients from 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, a whole bunch of them. I said, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, studying chemistry, I know that the pH of water is extremely unstable. There's no ionic strength in there to hold those molecules together when you like ionize or whatever you do with that. And the pH will remain, you know, neutral water is 7, which is totally neutral, 7.0. So I asked her name is Erzsi, that's the Hungarian name for Elizabeth or Liz. I asked her to bring me her water of the various grades, the various pH things. I don't know, there must have been 4 or 5 different ones. And I have, you know, a clinical pH meter, of course. And I checked the pH. Then I also checked the tap water that we have in the laboratory. Comes out from Hollywood Tower there, water tower. They all were 8.5. Tap water, this, that. They all were the same. And I'm not surprised, because the origin of that water in this Kagan or something, I don't know, if you don't filter it before putting it in there, you have the same thing what you started out with. And the pH does not hold. Sorry, you know, you can check it. It does not hold. And once it gets in your body, for sure it's not going to hold. Just as much as some people swallow hydrogen peroxide, you know, food grade hydrogen peroxide, in no time it's going to be water, H2O2. But the more mystical something sounds, the more likely you will buy it, because, you know, you want to take care of your health. So I don't buy that stuff. I didn't buy it. If it was doing something for me, I would. You know, I'm not very rich, but that's a lot of money. And, you know, I may be executed or whatever. The Keegan people will come after me or something like that. But, and I have pretty much the same story about all this pH stuff. Your blood pH is always the same. There's nothing you can do about it. Tough, right? And that's so tremendously designed that we have a buffering system in our blood that keeps it around 7.4. If you go a couple tenths of a unit up or down, you are in a hospital, in the emergency room. They try to put your pH back to where it is. But that's very infrequently happens. So